Would you go Maradona or Pele? Quick answer.
Well, you played against them both.
Go on, mate. Go on, mate. Go on. Make a decision.
What, me?
Yes.
I can only go off the black and white footage that I saw when you were chasing Maradona.
Yeah. So Pele.
Pele.
This is a Champions League special tonight, and we look forward to the second legs of the quarter-finals. Right, let's get into it.
I tell you what, that's fantastic. You've done great there.
Thank you, Viv. Barcelona v Man United, 1-0 at the moment to Barcelona. Has Ollie still got the magic?
Listen, I said if we could get a 0-0 at home, everybody went, what, 0-0 at home? You've got to take something to Barcelona. I just thought, if they could, because on the counter away from home, I think Manchester United are dangerous. If you play the fast boys, the Martials, the Rashfords, the Lingards, these sort of people, which we did in the Paris game and got a result there, I thought they had something to... But with them needing to get a goal, it's going to be a tricky one. I think they could still get a goal, but do I think they'll go through? I think it's going to be tight, but I'm going to say yes, Billy.
I would say that Ollie's not at the wheel anymore. He's lost the wheel. I think the last few games for me have shown that the honeymoon's over, and my opinion is that they've got everything against them, as we know. Going to Barcelona would never be easy under the circumstances, even more difficult. I think the biggest dilemma they've got is knowing what the approach should be tonight, whether they should go for it and get at them, or whether they should sit patient and try and just bide out some time to try and get a counter-attack goal. But it's almost mission impossible, in my opinion.
So you would have said the same at Paris, going into that game?
I would.
You would, wouldn't you?
I just
Well,
think,
yeah.
you look though, like how much luck can you buy to get yourself through to almost impossible ties? So I just see a difference in the team as well at the moment. I see it, they've sort of flatlined again, I think.
You saw them recently, didn't you?
I've watched the last 4 or 5 games, and even the game at the weekend against West Ham as a win, but it's such a, there's almost like an apathy again in the team, in my opinion. They're almost like looking towards the end of the season in many respects. So.
What do you think is missing at Man United going forward?
I don't agree with Billy there. I think Manchester United, going into a big... What other challenge have you got? You get a chance of getting, the semi-finals of the Champions League. Okay. It's a great incentive as you're a player. You're a Pogba and all the rest of it. You go into these games, that's what you go to Manchester United for, to play in these games and show how good you are, which they did in the last leg against the French.
You can have, I get it, but you can have all the tactics, you can have the best manager, but to me, the players ultimately decide the performance, and I just don't see the performances in recent weeks. I don't see that spark that they had in the initial stages of Ollie's tenure,
I get that, but in a one-off, 1-0 down in Barcelona, you go, roll the sleeves up, let's have it on. You know what it's like. You all day long.
Yeah, I think it's a very interesting
game. Go on then, what's your view?
I actually think Barcelona will go through.
Easily?
I just don't think Man United at the back, and especially with Smalling and Phil Jones, I think it'd be tough for them playing against the top quality of Barcelona on that big pitch. It'd be interesting to see.
Will Jones play? I think Lindegaard will play.
Lindelof, okay.
Yeah.
Even still, I know they're top players, but to stop players like Messi and Suarez when they're on form, European nights, they usually come good. But there's one thing for me about Barcelona: they are a little bit weak at the back, and with 20 minutes to go and it's 0-0, anything can happen.
The Barcelona that played at Old Trafford wasn't the best of Barcelona.
No, it wasn't. But do you know what you'd love tonight? This is me as a United fan. I'd love to see Pogba grab the game by the scruff of the neck and prove that he's a world-class player.
Yeah, agreed.
I can't, and all the time he's been at United, I cannot honestly say maybe one game max where you think he was outstanding in that game.
Second half against Manchester City.
Yeah, and if you're the best player in the world, or one of the best players in the world, at some point, you've got to grab a game by the scruff of the neck, as all the greats have always done in big games, and go, I'll put you on my back here and carry you through. So there's an excitement for me tonight, because you'll probably see the true colours of some players in terms of can they step up to produce a big performance, and he would be the classic for me.
Exactly.
Can you carry the team forward?
Would you play Lukaku up front or Rashford or together?
I'd play the quick ones to scare them. Yeah, I think so. And that's what they did in Paris. Played all the quick ones that's going to scare them. You're always on the back foot. But I agree with Billy. This is a stage for Pogba to go. I'll show you who's the best player in the world. I'm going against Messi on the same pitch, and I'm going to go.
Last bit on Man United v Barcelona. Score prediction.
Man United to win. Can't say the score, but Man United to go through to the semi-finals. Heart.
Bill?
Yeah, heart says win, head says...
Just sit on the bench, make a decision.
Yeah, 2-0 Barcelona.
Oh!
I think 2-1 Barcelona. Okay, on to the next big game of the evening. Juventus v Ajax, 1-1. And you know who is the top player for Juventus, and they bought him for this specific reason.
Where's it at now?
It's at Juventus tonight. Right. And they bought Ronaldo for this reason, is to, you know, finally get that Champions League victory that they've been close to, Juventus, over the last few years. Yeah. Do you think he can pull them through?
I watched the first game, and his goal, if you watch his goal from start to finish, it's class. That's why he's at the top of his game. You know, he starts the move in the first place. His desire and his ambition to get in the box to score a goal was unbelievable. And how many times you look at him, he's a pretty boy and this, that and the other, but he wins lots of headers, he scores lots of goals with his head, he puts his head where people fear to tread. He's been a fantastic player. And can they turn it around at home? Yes, definitely.
So this is the same for me, heart and head. Heart says Juventus should win because I really want them to continue in the competition. I don't want Liverpool winning it. I don't want City winning it. And I'm dead serious. It's like you want the big guns remaining in there to stop that happening.
Would like Spurs win it?
Well, Spurs, yeah. A month of Sundays they couldn't win it, I don't think. But I'd give Ajax a chance here because I watched the game against Real Madrid, the away leg against, and they were dynamic, fantastic.
They're a bit of a dark horse, aren't they?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. They've got, and you'd underestimate them. To underestimate them would be a massive mistake. So, I really want Ronaldo to do well and carry on and carry Juventus through. But I would not be surprised if Ajax was able to pull it off tonight.
It'd be massive if they could do that. But
Juventus no Mandzukic tonight. Big loss, or do you think they'll be able to get away with him not playing? He's a good player, isn't he?
He's an experienced player, isn't he? You know,
big night.
He's a fantastic number 9. And he plays wide, he can play centre forward, he can play several positions. But I just think home advantage for Juventus will just pull them through tonight. But as Billy says, they've got some good players, Ajax, you know. You don't get to this stage in any competition unless you've got decent players, and
That's true. Just a quick one before I ask you your score predictions. And I just said about 5 minutes ago, Messi being the best player in the world.
No,
forgot about Ronaldo.
No, there's only one.
Who do you think?
Messi, for me, is the best player in the world.
Ronaldo for me. And I always use this analogy. Who would I hate to play against most as a player? Played as a central defender and a right back.
All of them.
Yeah, all of them, yeah. But to me, like, Ronaldo can hurt you in more ways than Messi can hurt you. And I'm not saying Messi's an unbelievable player. But for me, Ronaldo is unstoppable in any way you want to try and contain him. In the air, on the ground, shots from distance, in the box, intelligent movement, all of those things. To me, he's the perfect specimen as a footballer.
I agree in what you said there, but I think the boy's an absolute genius.
He is a genius.
His goals per game is unreal, by the way. And then you go, where do you go, Maradona or Pele? Quick answer.
Well, you played against them both.
Go on, mate. Go on. Make a decision.
What, me?
Yes.
I can only go off the black and white footage that I saw when you were chasing Maradona.
Yeah. So Pele.
Pele. Yeah, because I hate the hand of God. Peter Shilton should have punched his head off that day. That drove me insane,
not
that
much,
one.
By the way.
Oh, it just drove me insane.
And by the way, if you speak to Steve Hodge, that was a back pass.
As an assist.
He meant to do it. He meant to knock it back to the goalkeeper.
Yeah.
You know, and I said, are you sure? He says, yeah. Tried to play it back to you.
He was at the school of Nottingham Forest, wasn't he, Steve Hodge?
Yes.
That's where he learnt that little trick.
Yes.
Last bit on this, score prediction.
Juventus to win on the night, to go through.
Yeah, same with me, 2-1 Juventus.
Yeah, I think they'll go through.
Yeah?
They've got the away goal at the moment. They just need to draw. They're through, a 0-0, but I think they'll win 2-1.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, on to the next game. One of your favourite clubs, guys, as your ex-Man United. Porto versus Liverpool. 2-0, 2-0 ahead at the moment on aggregate. I think Liverpool may be just too strong for Porto. I think it was the best draw in the hat for them.
And they've looked out with that, haven't they, the draws? Yeah. Like really, in all the competitions, everything they've been in, even last year when they got to the final, to me, Can't stop laughing while I'm saying it. Can't stop laughing. It's all luck.
So this is
it's all luck.
Yeah, all luck.
Yeah. Sorry, mate,
Love it, Billy.
Go on.
Well, I watched the game last week, and Porto have not got enough for me. I mean, Liverpool, as much as it pains me to say it, will go through.
Porto have done well just to get this far, haven't they?
Agreed.
And I think now they might be a little bit out of their depth coming against the big guns.
And if I was Liverpool, I would change that team a little bit. 2-0 up, I think I'd put a few people in. Yeah, rest a few for the running for the league.
Okay, score prediction for Porto.
Liverpool to go through. I think they'll score on the night as well, so Liverpool to go through, easy.
I think it'll be a draw. I think it'll be a 0-0 or a 1-1.
On to the next one. This is a big one, all English tie. Man City versus Tottenham. Tottenham are 1-0 up with that goal from Son last week. No Harry Kane. Yeah. This is a tough one to call. How do you think this will go?
I personally think Man City at home are very, very strong. You look at their record. You know, I went to the Man City-Liverpool match. Two teams bang at it. Really good game. Playing at the top level as well, you know. Fernandinho was class. Bernardo Silva was class on the night. I just think their home record, their home form is sensational. So I think, although they've gone 1-0 down, I think they'll turn that round.
Bill?
Yeah, I agree with Viv. Kills me to say it again, but I think no, it does, because it's like I'm between a rock and a hard place with City and Liverpool at the moment. But Spurs have got to score. I'm not sure they can, and City will create a ton of chances and probably have enough to claw it back and go through, in my opinion.
Do you think Kane being injured is a big loss for Tottenham?
Oh, it's a massive loss. Somebody in the cab today, the
trying to play it down, right? They're better without him.
They're better without him.
No chance.
I mean, they have, when he's been injured before this season, they actually done well without him.
Yeah, but not at the level we're talking about now.
It's now top level.
Yes, top players.
Top players.
And you want
all
your best players.
Let's be fair, Harry Kane is a top
available.
player.
And I would tell you now, if he was playing tonight in a game like this, then I could see Tottenham scoring, and he would be an instrumental factor in it. You can't deny they're weakened. So for me, if Spurs are going to go to City and win, they've got to have everything in their favour. And having your best player, who's a world-class player, not available is a nightmare for them.
I mean, the game against Dortmund, and if it was at the previous round when they were away and the pressure was on him, and he had one chance, and you knew he was going to bury it, and he just buried it in fine style. And that could be the difference tonight. They might have one chance to get an away goal. Yeah. And Harry Kane's not there, and that could be a big loss. Do
you play the Spanish centre forward? What's his name?
Llorente.
Do you play him?
I think
we'll
go with Son.
Son on his own?
Yeah, with Dele Alli and Eriksen up with him.
And not Mora? No? Scored a hat-trick the weekend.
See, they've got so many good players as well.
You know what I mean?
There's so many. Yeah,
he's scored a hat-trick. He's rich vein of form. So maybe he's
forgot about him.
Maybe he's in the groove. So maybe they go with him.
There's so many players. So, what do you think Man City's game plan will be? Spurs, will they come and sit deep and maybe hit the counter-attack and, like we said, play Son up front with his pace?
100%.
And will Man City just go for it from the off?
They'll sit there. But remember, City come against this every week. The people come to the Etihad and go, we'll get 11 players behind the ball, you know, we'll defend halfway in our own half, now you break us down. They do it every week, and they score 4s, 5s, 6s, so they know what to expect. I can't see Spurs going, oh, we'll make it an expansive game, we'll get up to the ball, because they'll go bang, bang, bang round you, and it'll be a cricket score.
And how do you play Man City at the Etihad? Because Crystal Palace...
You take a sledge at them, out your shoe.
Yeah. But I mean, Crystal Palace beat them in, in this season.
I went to the game.
And how did they beat them? And what was it? Were they lucky? Did they hit? I know Andrew Townsend hit a worldie goal.
But they played well on the day.
Yeah.
And they didn't sit back. They got up to the ball, they made it difficult and played round them. They didn't have Fernandinho that day, if I remember rightly. But they played well, and I would say probably City deserved a draw at the game. They ended up winning. You know, you don't get many games like that, especially at the Etihad, because their own form is good. They score goals for fun, and once they get a sniff, they go for 2, 3s and 4s. And then once they score, the game changes then it's up to them to get a goal, and that's where the gaps appear, and that's how they go on to win 4s and 5s. So you've got to be careful at the tactics, and I think they'll just sit there and wait for the opportunity to use Mora or whoever the quick players are in their team to try and get themselves a goal.
I met with someone a few months ago and they talked about, if you watch Man City play, they rarely shoot from distance, Man City. They try and get in these zones of success percentages to score. They're always trying to get to the end line, to the touch line,
and
to
cutbacks,
cut back
yeah,
to the tap-ins. And so, like, even though you sit there in that shape, they still have the quality and the patience to be able to just carve you to pieces and get into those situations. So they don't shoot from distance, they don't get wide and whip balls in early. They're actually
No height in the team.
I know there's not, and but it's almost like genius in many ways that they're so collected and patient with the way that they approach it, and they'll dominate possession and they'll camp in the last third there against Spurs. And I just think that they've always got the quality to be able to break you down in those areas.
He's got to be a really good coach. Him. He's been done it in Spain, he's done it in Germany, and now he's come here and done it. He plays a certain way, and I've been to City and I've not seen him train, but I don't know what he does. But you have zones, and he'll get the back four and the midfield players. You go into there, but you don't go down like this. You'll actually walk him in there. You go in there, but you don't go in there. It's like baby steps, baby steps, and they know
you can
on
see
Saturday
that
afternoon.
You can see that because Raheem Sterling, how many goals has he scored on the back post for a tap-in? Or, I mean,
it's not a
2 or 3 years ago. No, he's been coached to do that, obviously.
Of course,
so.
he's got to be a really good coach at what he does.
So, score predictions.
4-0 Tottenham. Ollie's at the wheel.
I think City will go through. I think they'll win on the night. Yeah, I think they'll go through. They've got to win 2, haven't they? Yeah. Got to score 2 goals. So I think they won't score. It'll be 2-0.
I think 2-0 as well. Yeah.
Okay. I think Man City will go through. Staying on the Champions League, and this is the big question: who do you think will win the whole competition outright? I mean, the favourites. Who are the favourites at the moment? The bookies. Man City must be up there. Yeah. Barcelona, Juventus.
Yeah. I tell you what. Having seen Juventus, having seen Barcelona, the first leg, you wouldn't have thought they've got enough to win the Champions League.
Defensively, are they strong enough?
No. And then you look at Juventus. You think City look as an outfit. They look strong.
Liverpool.
Liverpool.
Billy, Liverpool.
Killing me. Killing me. Just saying it.
Sorry.
I'm picturing it like them raising the God Almighty, doing it.
Would that kill you?
Oh.
The double, the quadruple would
that kill you?
Oh, because we've banged
Liverpool?
on.
What would be worse? Man City doing the quadruple, or Liverpool winning the Premier League or the Champions League? Come on,
put me to sleep.
Put
me to sleep right now.
Yeah, and wake us both up in 2022.
Unbelievable.
Okay. Back to my original question: who do you think will win it?
Juventus with everybody fit.
They've got history on their side.
Yeah.
The only thing with Man City, they have never won it.
No.
Bill.
I'm going to steer away from what my head would think here. I'm going to say if Barcelona, and I think they will get past United, them or Juventus will win it. Yeah.
Okay, I think the signing of Ronaldo might just tip it in Juventus' favour.
Get them all fit. They've got a decent squad.
Why would you? Because you've got no dog in this fight in terms of City or Liverpool. Why would you not give? Why would you overlook City in that respect then, Kev?
I just don't think they haven't done it yet, and they haven't got the players. I mean, I went to the game last season when they played Liverpool, and they played fantastically well, but they just didn't get over the line.
Can't get over the line.
Can't get over. I don't think they can get over the line. I might be wrong. And I've got nothing. I quite like Man City.
Do you think it's a back of the heads?
I just think.
But he's come here.
But I just think Juventus.
Pep has come to win the Champions League.
Yeah.
Don't worry about winning the league.
But he went to Bayern Munich to win the Champions League.
And never did.
Never did.
Yeah.
So, and I know he's a great coach, but it is a little bit easier when you've got the best players, isn't it? It's a little bit easier.
So not City then?
No, I don't think City. I'm
not
saying
City?
Not City.
Not City.
Not City.
No, not City.
Or Liverpool, Billy.
No, Liverpool.
I think Juventus. If you have any questions or comments, let us know below. Hit subscribe to join the team.